work at, I guess, like 7 Central. So what time is that? 8 a.m. tomorrow?
8
I mean, I guess I could wait that
Eastern,
long.
yeah. Well, we could do a quickie while we're waiting for Husky.
Yeah, we always start something. It's fine. You want to be on your own?
Yes.
Brave, brave, brave.
Lone Rider. I'm gonna do some crazy shit. That's why.
All right.
Fair.
What team do you want to be on?
I don't care. You guys pick what side you want.
Oh, somebody's a little cocky, ain't they? Well, we're playing one as allies right now. You want to go Axis on this one?
All right. Which power would you like?
I'm gonna blunder equally bad either way. So how about you choose?
I always pick Japan, so I'll do Germany.
Okay, you gonna start it up?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. I am shitting. Are y'all on the politics channel by any chance?
Yeah.
There's a politics.
This guy Moose and Imperious.
I just read it.
Moose and Imperious leader, man, they kill me in here.
Where's the
Imperious
politics
leader's
channel?
a jerk, man. Honestly.
They both are.
Where's the politics channel?
It's hidden. Do you wanna see
You
it?
gotta accept it, yeah.
Yeah, how do I do it?
I'm sending you to it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I've known that guy since back in the original Axis and Allies
Imperious leader.
CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, Imperious leader. Yeah, he's something else.
Is it off topic?
Yeah, tact of an elephant.
No. I was just pinging you so I could right click on your username.
Okay.
But now I'm gonna ping you from the political channel.
Okay.
I almost pinged the roll on accident. I'd have had 200 people pissed off at me.
Political. All right. What happens?
It's just the general theme between Imperious leader and Moose Green. Moose Green is like basically mainline Democrat. He says everything from the mainline Democrat talking points, and he won't hear any opinion or viewpoint from the contrary before he just starts with saying, you're a piece of shit, you're a stupid motherfucker. You should see that my opinion is the only correct opinion, type stuff. And then the same thing from Imperious leader, except from the mostly
The right
mainline
side,
Republican
yeah.
talking points.
Yeah, neither of them will have a discussion. It's funny. I had to block him
All
on my
right, I'm
YouTube
supposed
channel.
to be Japan, right? Okay, I'm Japan. You said you had to block him from your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
That sucks. I always hate blocking and kicking people.
He just was a jerk on his comments, and I was just like, I'm not dealing with that shit.
Fair.
What, on your Axis and Allies stream?
Yeah.
Oh my God, really?
I had someone like that in my I wanted to block in my driver orientation at this company. So they make us do like an orientation, and part of orientation at pretty much any company is you have to drive a truck on their yard around cones, and then you have to back in because they just want to make sure you're not going to be crashing and costing them, tens of thousands of dollars in damage or whatever. But this dude was just screaming at everyone the whole time, like, "No, you ain't supposed to go like that. You're supposed to do. I would have done it like this." Dude, shut the fuck up.
There's too much to catch up on here in this conversation, and it sounds like nobody's saying anything.
Well, it's pre-game. Oh, you're talking about the politics conversation?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about our conversation. It's like, all right, I am saying a bunch of nothing, but that's because I didn't want silence till we start.
Okay, well, this Ronald Roland dude, he's just wrong because there's not equally as many Democrats who feel Trump is clearly in the wrong and a stupid choice. There's just more Democrats who feel. There's more Democrats.
Okay,
Who it's just like a
I was
hot take.
I was
Have you
gonna
seen the
say,
vote? Have you seen the vote numbers? Hot take, frisky cow. There's more Democrats.
I mean,
Spoilers. Spoilers.
I mean, it kind of goes back and forth though,
No, it doesn't.
as far as it doesn't.
The national numbers are just it's Democrats by a mile.
Oh yeah, you're talking about like popular. Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Like popular vote.
Like Republican presidents never win the popular vote, even when they win the presidency. That's just
Right.
what it is. Yeah. So you can't say there's equal amounts on both sides because there's definitely more Democrats than there are Republicans.
For sure.
The system's just rigged to give the Republicans a chance.
The electoral college is there for a reason, though. Man, if you think about it.
No, the electoral college is the worst thing that was ever invented.
No, it's not.
Well,
No, it's not.
I don't think.
No, the electoral it's so bad, dude. Your vote in California is worth less than everyone else's.
Doesn't you're that's a
I think it doesn't actually matter because the two sides don't want a third party coming in. They don't want any ideas. They work with each other on opposite sides of each other.
Every other sane,
it's divide and conquer. That's what it is.
Every other sane country has multiple parties and it has runoff voting or ranked choice voting.
Australia just pulled a USA. Australia just pulled an America, and basically made it impossible for. Oh, you went for Bello, and okay, this is going to be interesting.
Doing the Husky Open.
I'm trying it.
Not
I understand.
Oh, I'm not Germany though.
Yeah.
Oh, but even if there was like the two parties, the Republicans and Democrats are working alongside each other.
Yeah.
They just have very different talking points so that they can divide us against each other, so that we're busy fighting each other, so that they can continue stealing all of our money and stealing all of our labor.
Yeah, two wings on the same disgusting bird, man. That's what it is.
Two wings on the same disgusting bird? Is that what you said?
Two wings, yeah.
Wings, okay.
That's what it is, man. And you don't want to have the major population centers. Like that's what they have in California. That's why it's all jacked up, man. Is that all the three big population centers like basically rule the state. So if you live outside of those places, that you don't your voice isn't heard. Right? It's the same thing with the that's why they don't have, we're a constitutional republic. We're not a democracy. A democracy is mob rule, right? So there's a constitution and all that for a reason. And the electoral college was made so it can't be mob rule. That's why there's only, each place gets so many votes, right? So many electoral college votes. It's based on population of Congress and Senate, right? That's how it is, and that's we're lucky that we have that. And they're trying, and the Democrat Party is not the same Democrat Party that when I was growing up. It's morphed into something weird now, man.
It's crazy. If you look at what Joe Biden was saying in 1980 or in the 1980s, and then you compare that to what Trump was saying in the 1980s, and you compare their own statements against their own statements from the 80s and today, it's like Trump's statements are the same from the 1980s. And Dementia Joe's statements are like completely 180.
Yeah, well, we got the Orange Man and the Oatmeal Man, right? So
Oatmeal Man.
That's
Orange Man bad.
Orange Man bad, Oatmeal Man. They love Donald Trump until he signed. signed up to be a presidential, candidate. They loved him. If you
Right.
look back and look, he was with Oprah. He was with all them folks, man. They loved him.
Yep.
Dude, never loved Donald Trump. Always a
It's
sleaze
like I'm
bag.
not. I don't. All I look at. I hate politics, but I look at results, right? And if they're supposed to be tools for us, and they're a tool, right? And when it was under, at least when the Orange Man was in there, we weren't in freaking 3 wars. It's like we didn't humiliate ourselves getting out of Afghanistan. It's like we didn't have all this.
No, actually, do you want to know why we
Oh,
humiliated
okay,
ourselves getting out of Afghanistan?
but to be
You
fair
want to know
though,
why? It's
he
actually
did say,
Trump's fault. That was
Okay,
because of
well,
Trump.
don't get
That
all.
was Trump. It was Trump's Afghanistan plan that we had to pull out the way we did. It actually wasn't Biden. But
Yeah,
no,
so it's an endless
well, no,
war.
okay, but Biden took over and Biden fucked up that plan
Yeah,
trying to make
yeah,
Trump look bad.
exactly. Biden was in
No,
charge, and
no, he didn't. That's
Biden is the one that was
ridiculous.
commander in chief.
That's
Quit blaming
ridiculous.
everything on the Orange Man. Don't be all
That's kind of
direct.
like saying that Kennedy was responsible for the
Yeah,
Bay of Pigs. Kennedy was not responsible for the Bay of Pigs. The plan was already in place because Eisenhower put the plan for the Bay of Pigs in place. Kennedy didn't want to fuck it up, but the military industry, his generals wanted the Bay of Pigs to fuck up so that the military industrial complex could get rich.
yeah. Don't get all distracted by the noise, man. It's just like
I'm not distracted by them. The noise is you saying that it's Biden's fault we got out of Afghanistan the way we did.
he was in charge. Look, he was in charge. He didn't. He
It
pulled
doesn't
out.
matter, dude.
Look how,
It's like the operation had started already before he even
that's
got in.
fine,
You can't.
but the way it ended, the way at the end, his end game was.
Hey, yeah, tell me how you would do it
What
better.
what I find funny though, not really
I'll
funny.
tell you how I would do
It's
it.
not
better.
funny at all because people are dead because of it. Like lots of people are dead because of it. But what I find to be, I guess, maybe ironic is Biden literally said, we're not going to have another Hanoi airlift. So the Hanoi airlift of, leaving Vietnam, and you got pictures of a helicopter lifting
Exactly.
civilians off the embassy in Hanoi. Uh, you literally had like what he meant by that was we're not going to have a disaster in leaving. And not only did we have a disaster, we had pretty much identical. Maybe not a helicopter, but we had the Iraqi civilians like literally climbing up inside so not the Iraqi, but the Afghani civilians trying to climb up inside of the landing gear on a jet. Like, oh man, this is.
Does anyone even
I
care
mean,
though? Actually, like, does anyone even care? Like,
I care about that battleship in 17 bombarding
I don't like talking
because you're
about
gonna need that.
I mean, like, does anyone even care about like the Afghanistan thing? It just feels like people want to use it to like rag on.
Yeah,
I
like,
actually
absolutely.
do.
When you're talking about no,
I
absolutely.
actually do.
If you're going to
I
talk
actually
about
do
if you're
care
going to
about
talk about a
Afghanistan.
dozen dead Marines, and you're going to talk about we were, and it's not even as much about the dozen dead Marines, all right, because that sucks and all, but they actually did volunteer for it. It's about the fact that we as a nation and we as a people promised the Afghani
Oh, I never mind.
translators, and not just translators, but other contractors, but particularly translators. We promised them a pathway to citizenship, and we left them high and dry in
exactly.
Afghanistan with no plan, no path forward. And the bureaucracy, while the bureaucracy is going to put in place some sort of pathway forward that they can immigrate into the United States and find citizenship, it's going to take years upon years for them to actually make their way to the United States. They're going to be slaughtered by the Taliban, possibly.
Yeah,
So as far as do I care? Yes, because we went back on our word. Not to mention, dead
Yeah,
Marines is a pretty bad thing.
the word that Trump did. So the Doha agreement that was set in place in 2020 and was ignored for like fucking ever.
I will say I'm not really a big Trump fan because he's not as.
I just think like everyone's putting the wrong blame on Biden there, and
Biden.
He was the commander in chief at that point. He can.
can't say that
He has a
though, because you
lot.
know how long an operation like that takes to put together and pull off. It's not like he could
You know-
snap his fingers.
You know how long
They
it is
already
to.
started. They already started pulling out. They already started pulling. He could not leave people there.
Okay,
They
but
had
do you
to
know how
do it.
easy it is to? Do you know how easy it is for him to say, you know what, we're going to stay for a little bit longer
Yeah,
to
but they had already
slow down?
started taking people out. That's the issue. There was
Mm.
they would have been overrun by the Taliban because there was no one left. You
We
would
don't
have
even
had
been to
to
the
go back.
negotiation table.
You would have
So
had to
the thing
go
is, like, the
back
Taliban
in.
isn't like really savages. Like they're not really the
I'm just
most
saying you would have
compatible
had to go back
ideologically.
in. They had no forces. That's what like just like look into it. It's like the dude like
To be honest with you, I didn't really follow the whole story while it was going on as closely as I could have. Maybe I'm not saying Trump is blameless here because there are
but
definitely
anyway.
things I can
But
completely
yeah,
despise that Trump
okay,
did.
here. Because like I don't really like I don't hold this particular act against anyone because I think no matter what it's gonna be a clusterfuck. But I think it's a good example of people trying to blame Biden for something that probably wasn't really his fault. Like people trying to blame Biden for inflation when it was like Trump who made inflation happen.
Oh
And
no, oh no, oh no. Well, yes, yes, but no. Yes, but no. All right, so
yes,
Trump
but
did
yes.
make inflation happen. He made inflation happen during the pandemic, and he did not have to. It was a mistake to shut
That's
down
what
the
I'm
economy
saying. Yeah,
during the
yeah, exactly.
pandemic. But
But also the
we were on track. We were getting back to normal. The economy was getting back to normal. The economy is far, far, far worse under Biden compared to Trump.
no, it's not.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, it is,
Absolutely.
Biden.
They have to
Definitely not.
change the numbers. Oh, and did you just buy an aircraft carrier? Are you landing an aircraft carrier in the Baltic? Okay, Biden.
What's going on over there?
Oh man.
Man, I
But
got
no, like I was actually just looking at these numbers last night. Like, so they said, okay, in the last year, like the price of eggs just went down such and such percent. The price of milk is down such and such percent. And I looked them up and like, okay, the price of eggs did go down. I was like, okay, so what's the sleight of hand here? They were up like 50%. The price of eggs and milk and like the three things that they said. It's up like 50% since Biden took office. Since Biden took office, not under Trump, it's up 50% since Biden took office. And they want to use the results from the last year of like 3%, like they're down 17%. You can't
The
inflate the
problem
price
with
60% since you took office and then brag about the last year going down 17%. That's on, but the prices were already going back down, back towards normal under Trump. You can't sanction an entire nation that produces more than 50% of the world's fossil fuels. I'm not saying fossil fuels are the best. I'm not saying that there's no argument in favor of green energy. I'm just saying the fact of the matter is, whether you like it or not, the world runs on fossil fuels. You're not going to get, I'm a truck driver, and I know that you're not going to get an electric solar powered vehicle, whether it's solar power or not. You're not getting an electric vehicle to distribute the products that you need as far as you need them at the correct price point under without having fossil fuels, without having diesel engine or diesel fuel for the diesel engine. But uh, the fact of the matter is, if you're going to sanction the whole country and they're going to cut off the oil supply to NATO and their allies, which is exactly what they've done, the price of everything is going up. Just that one mistake. And by the way, whose responsibility is it to defend Ukraine? It's not mine. Why do I have to pay for this shit? We didn't even have to meddle in that to begin with. But
okay, do you want
that's
okay, wait,
beyond
wait. Time out, time out. You
that's
can't
beyond
ignore it.
Trump versus Biden,
You
huh?
literally can't yeah, I mean it has nothing to do with Trump versus Biden, but like you
Well,
can't
because
ignore Russia literally invading
you absolutely can.
Ukraine.
You absolutely can
No,
because that's a
explain.
Ukrainians problem. I'm sorry, but that's a Ukrainians problem. That's not mine. We can't be the world police here. We can't go to war every
We're
time
not
that there's a major power.
we're not being the world police. We're just like
We absolutely are the world
we're the
police. We're blocking China. We're using Taiwan to block China into
okay, like what do you
the
want? Like what do you want?
U.S. is the
live and
is
let
the
live.
U.S.
Okay,
Isolationism.
okay,
Isolationism
yeah, but
is
like
what
there
I
is
want.
no isolationism in a like there is no isolationism in our day and age. Like there's just not.
There absolutely is.
No, there isn't. And where
Absolutely
is
is.
it? Where? Show
Everyone
me a
can. So
link.
we defend the shipping lanes over. It all comes down to money. It's
No
cheaper
shit.
for
Yeah.
us to defend the shipping lanes and then therefore get cheaper products all over the world, ourselves included, compared to defending only our own ships. We actually don't even really have that many like cargo ships that are flagged in the United States, and we don't actually produce that many cargo ships because we have laws as far as our labor laws as well as our like the taxes that shipping companies have to pay. There's actually no routes that go from an American port to an American port as far as like cargo ships are concerned, simply because we have a stupid tax rate on that. They'll even send a ship that's in the United States. They'll even send that from an American port to a foreign port back to America, even if they're not doing any business in that foreign port. solely so they can avoid the American
Right,
taxes
anyway, let's go
on
back
it.
to the inflation thing. We got way off.
All right, sorry, and we do. I mean, that's what topic? It's politics.
No, but like you got to stick
You
to
know, I got to
the.
bring in. You know, I got
You
to bring
gotta
in all the red
look.
herrings and all the
Yeah,
tangents if
we
I'm
can
gonna
talk
ever
about
win a political
no.
debate. I'm just joking. I'm joking. Go
Exactly, and
ahead.
I'm trying to bring you back to the fucking point we were talking about with
I was just fucking with you. Go ahead, man.
the
All
COVID
right.
inflation. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he made absolutely made terrible mistakes during COVID. He should have never shut down the economy. But the economy was getting back on track, not as quickly as it could have because he was still listening
The
to
economy
Janet
got
Yellen.
I mean, it depends. Like, what's your metric for the economy being on or off track?
How much do I have to spend at the grocery store? And I mean, I'm not driving a personal vehicle right now, but when I was, and if I do again,
If I'm
how
going
much do I have to spend on fuel to get
Okay.
to and from work and the gym every day?
Okay. Because like, I feel like what you have to first find is like a common way to define like whether economy
Fair.
is good or bad.
Now, if we want to use a well-defined metric,
I don't think how much stuff costs at the grocery store is a good metric because you need to balance that against like, well, is GDP up or down? You know what I mean? Like it's just the price in a vacuum is bad. But
I'm
like,
not even too
also,
concerned about
if I
GDP.
if
If
I
we need
look
to
at like
measure it
my
against something, we measure it against how much I'm making.
Yeah, sure. You could measure it against something you're making, but that's also not really like, you know what I mean? Like you can measure your retirement account and whether that's grown or not compared to the last 4. You know what I mean? It's like what is the actual like measure of the economy? And by the historical standards, right now, the economy is pretty fucking good.
So, no.
I don't know, dude, man.
Awful.
I don't know what Kool-Aid you're drinking, man, but you're like,
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
your
how
stuff
do you,
is
how do
wow,
you
man. What
like that's
what
but like that's what I'm asking.
do you
Like,
watch?
what's your
Like,
measurement?
what
What's
do
your
you watch?
measurement?
MSNBC and CNN?
No, I
or
don't.
what,
I
man?
don't
Oh my
watch.
God.
No, I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV.
Oh my God.
So where are
Like,
you getting that the economy is good from? What's your data
Well,
on that?
no, I'm saying the historic, like based on historical records, right? Like we're like the Dow and S&P and 500, they're at the highest peak in the last 5 years.
The stock market isn't the economy.
Okay, hold on. The last 5 years are very specific.
Economy.
No, this includes pre-COVID.
Look at the
During
Okay,
COVID.
you're right. 2019.
Yeah, I'm
Federal
saying
Reserve.
literally way higher than it's ever been.
Based on what? Just the raw numbers? Because the value
No,
of money has
guys,
gone down.
I disagree. I disagree with that completely because the stock
guys,
market is not the economy.
I'm not saying the stock market is the economy. I'm giving you one number,
Okay.
and then I'm going to give you more numbers. But you guys keep talking over me, so I can't give you more numbers. What about the unemployment?
Well,
and the
I want to
employment
address
rate?
that one. The
But
unemployment
I'm
rate
just
is up
saying, like,
compared to pre-pandemic. But so just the stock market, so that's going to be based on the dollar value of the stocks. Sure, they have points and everything, but those points are based on the dollar value. So the dollar value might be higher, but the value of that money is lower. So the amount of things that you can buy with that same money is lower. Hello?
oh, I'm trying to find the unemployment rate. Sorry.
Oh, I thought I got kicked out. I was like, what the hell?
Because I think we're like at 3% or something unemployment last time I checked, 3 point something maybe.
Oh no, hell no.
That's way higher.
What do you mean hell no? How do you get higher? Like
Just by
how? Like
people I
where
know.
you? That doesn't make any
Okay.
sense. That's literally not how. That's not statistics. That's not how that works.
Well, you know what I have to say about that is there's lies, there's damn lies, and then there's statistics. So which one do you want?
Okay, well, like here, no, but what I'm saying is like, like you can't be like, I know a bunch of people that are unemployed, therefore unemployment rate is high.
No,
That just means
I've never in my life heard of a 3% unemployment rate.
What? Are you kidding? Hasn't it been like 3% multiple times? Like not 3%, but like a 3 in the front. You're all right. 3.9.
30%? Hold
What are you
on.
talking about? It's 3.9.
Oh no, you know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking of is workforce participation rates. We're right over. That's my bad. I was talking about something
Oh,
completely different on
I
accident.
I was like, what?
I was like, "What are you talking about? That thing rarely touches. I don't think that thing has touched 70%. The workforce participation rate hasn't touched 70% in my entire lifetime. I don't think.
Like for example, during COVID, the first month of COVID, we were at 14.7, right? And then it dropped down to 4% by January 22, and now it's been in the 3.8, 3.9 range for the last year or so. And by all historical records, like 3 point something is
Okay, but hold on. This is the Democrats that we're talking about. So what way did they change how we're measuring this? They had to have changed how we're measuring this.
okay. Well,
Are
now
they
this is
only
just
counting people that are on unemployment?
all right. All right. Again, I'm going to preface this with I don't have a party, so you don't have to make fun of any party to me. I just want to talk about the
Well,
numbers and what's going on.
I I
And
have no party, but my ideology is libertarian, which means that I equally despise both parties. They're the uniparty, is what I call them, because they want to pit us against each other. They want us to do what we're doing now, which is argue about who's
well,
better
I
or
mean, I don't,
worse.
like, but I'm not trying to argue about who's better or worse. I'm just trying to argue about what needs to happen.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
um,
So, but
we
anyway,
need.
let's go back to this thing about prices, right? Because that's what
Uh,
matters to you, right? Like the prices of stuff right now,
ooh,
the things I need to buy.
yeah,
The
that's
things
a
like I
that's
need
a
to live cost more money than they used to, right? Like that's your problem. But your
shit.
problem is also, I'm gonna guess, that your income did not also increase at the same rate that the stuff that you need to buy.
Exactly. And if you don't call that inflation, I don't know what inflation is.
But I'm gonna like let's
The
dig into
value of
why does that stuff cost more?
because fuel costs more because we have a shortage of fuel. Because Biden
Because
decided
they
to
closed it
empty
for
our decide to dump our strategic oil reserves without a plan to replace them. And we knew that we just should have known that we were going to lose Russia as an importation as a source of imports.
and we stopped
So
drilling in
that
our own country.
so that would make so what would you expect to see then on the
Shit.
balance sheet of all these companies that sell you all these goods that have a higher cost?
Well, I know for a fact that they're paying higher shipping rates, and I'm also not getting more. I'm not getting paid more as a truck driver. Most
Yeah,
companies have not kept their rates up, their pay rates up. Kept them up to pace with inflation. A few of them pay percentage of the line haul, but they build into their contract a fuel surcharge, so the customer has to pay the transportation company more based on the price of fuel.
yeah, and so I
But
guess like so costs are higher, right? So you'd expect to see P&Ls with higher expenses than before, right?
um,
Like on their
hold
on
on,
company
cost higher.
on company income statements. What you're saying is because fuel costs are high, um, the price of goods has to go up to compensate for the increase in costs, right?
Yes, correct.
You should see higher expenses on companies' balance sheets in recent years, and
Yes.
profits should either be the same or lower.
No, I don't think that big business ever loses profits.
That's
I mean, they
interesting.
do, of course, but I think the general trend is that they're going to find a way to shaft the working man. Um,
Yeah, but
and
let's take out malice here for a second, right? Let's just like in theory, like if the only thing driving prices right now was an increase, like if costs of things to be produced increased by 15%, you'd expect, and therefore the prices went up by 15%, then you'd expect to see expenses, higher on balance sheet, right?
right.
Yeah. So what's actually happening is a decrease in costs, and profits are higher than they've ever been.
Hold on a sec. Did I not kill anything in Pearl?
Nope. Nope. Didn't get a single hit. Because, well,
Okay.
you're a jackass.
Who's Japan?
Andrew, spelling error.
Oh, you're Japan. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to like the cost
Wait,
of
do we have
goods.
4 people in here in the chat? We do. We have 5. There's 5 of us now. I thought there were
Yeah,
just three of us playing.
I thought it was
not
just
playing
us
with-
sitting here talking about dumb shit, and now I feel stupid for shoving it down other people's throats. Um, but well, anyway, what I was saying is like, so what we're actually seeing is companies having the highest profits they've had in like ages. So inflation's not the only thing going on here.
Right, because they're stealing from us. Not stealing,
Yeah,
but they're
no,
they're
yeah,
basically
they're price
exploiting
gouging.
us.
They're price
Yeah,
gouging,
there you
and
go.
they're
There's
not.
the word for it.
And what to go to what you said, they're not paying their workers their
Exactly,
fair
which
share
is
of the
why I'm
profit.
saying that, the economy is bad, because I'm having to work more to provide the same amount of stuff, to
Yeah, I
provide for
don't think
myself the
it's.
same amount of value.
Yeah, I don't think that is like the economy is bad because there's still a lot of economic activity happening. What I'm saying is that like
Mm.
we have we have no policies in place to police corporations. That's the bad
I'm
thing.
gonna show you this picture. I'm about to send this picture over to you into the Discord. So
Okay.
it's my clock, my driving clock. So I get 70 hours a week. So for every 7 consecutive days, I can drive for or work for 70 hours. I can tell you that I'm a fucking criminal, and I do not work for a mere 70 hours. I work off of my clock.
If any truck driver works
Any
for
legal
less
op.
than 70 hours, does not make any money. I was a driver. I know.
What's that?
I was a driver.
Oh yeah,
You
the
definitely,
OTR drivers don't make any fucking money. You've
you
heard of
gotta work
Trans
a
Am,
lot of
then, haven't
hours.
you?
Yeah, I know Trans Am. They suck.
Yeah, they fucking suck. Fucking donkey day. But I got a ticket not too long ago, so I got to work that off. But you'll see here at the bottom in the center where it
That
says
shit too,
67
though.
hours.
Where did you send this? Is
That's
it like in the chat or
off
something?
topic.
Oh,
Off
off topic.
topic.
I gotta go find where that channel is now. Hold on.
I'll just thank you.
Okay. But anyway, but my main point here is it's not just inflation. Like there are bigger issues and systems at play here. And what we need to be doing is not talking about how it's inflation driven by the president, because the president can't fucking drive dick when it comes to the economy. Like I get so upset when my dad tries to like tell me about that too.
No, he has quite a bit of influence because, and this goes
Yeah,
back
you
to
have
not just
influence
what
with
his
like
economic policy is,
so
but even
many
foreign
other
policy.
things. But
Like, for
like
example, when Trump put tariffs on Chinese steel, okay, this sounds pretty bad. We're not going to get steel as cheaply, which kind of sucked. But now we have more American jobs in the steel industry.
yeah,
That
but that's funny
kind of
because
kept our
people get
auto
rid.
industry working.
Yeah, but what about Biden's chips plan?
What's chips?
It's literally the exact same thing, but for microchips.
Oh, I'll tell you what about microchips specifically. I'm fine with not importing microchips or slapping a high tariff on microchips for two reasons. Number one, it gives us less of a reason to have a military presence defending Taiwan. And Israel, because a lot of our microchips come from either Taiwan or Israel. So it gives us less of a foreign reliance. And the reason that microchips specifically are so important is because they say, the backbone of our economy is either the auto industry or steel or whatever. But no, the backbone of our economy, all companies now are using computers. All companies, our entire economy shuts down without computers.
Yeah,
That is
but what I'm
one
saying
thing
is
that
like,
is as fundamental to our daily lives as food is. We already have done this with food, where we have intentionally taxed people. Everyone gets taxed, by the way. And one of the things we do with that
oh, do
is
they? Do they?
we
Because I'm
have
not sure that
strategic,
everybody gets
we have,
taxed.
I don't know what you just said.
I said, does everyone get taxed? Because I'm pretty sure we got the receipts
No, you're
that
right.
not everybody gets taxed.
You're right. You're okay. You're right.
If
But
you make some amount of money that is obscene, you probably don't get taxed, which is fucked up.
correct. Or if you just don't work, then you don't get
Well, I
taxed.
mean, sure, but like, then
But
you don't have any money. So
well, no, you just get a disability check. So you live for free. But we like, this was back in like the 1930s or some shit, like a long ass time ago. We decided we're going to have strategic food reserve. The United States will, and we're going to provide all of our own food. We're not going to rely on food imports, which is a national security policy. It's a great thing that needs to be considered. Microchips need to be considered a national security policy. We need to develop our own microchips, at least as it pertains to the bare minimum baseline microchips that we're going to need to keep our military running and our businesses running. It's just as fundamental to our day-to-day lives now as food and water is. And the same thing, really the same thing with oil. We shouldn't be relying on oil imports. So this whole thing with Biden banning, not really banning oil imports, but making it just a little bit harder to get oil imports. No, I'm not down with that.
Well, anyway.
Oh,
like,
yeah, but the clock. I've just
basically,
worked
like-
67 hours in the last 7 days, and I'm
Oh yeah,
sleepy.
I wasn't sure what I was supposed to know from it.
I'm just
Yeah.
showing you proof, sort of proof that I'm on the clock for 67 hours. 67 and a half precisely. And we were actually talking in our DMs where I was telling you not even just a few minutes ago that like maybe an hour ago where I was on the yard working. I was actually just doing a pre-trip inspection on a trailer. And then I can't take the trailer, so I'm just going to find another one tomorrow. But I mean, I don't know what I'm getting at here, but 70 hours of work, I think that I should be making at least 1.5 times what I'm making.
Yeah, but that is also, up to your company. What I'm trying to say is that corporations have too much power, and we don't have anyone willing to stand up against them, except for maybe like Bernie Sanders.
Right. Yeah, he does.
Don't you guys have a truckers union or something?
Dude, this
There's
country
no
That's
truckers
only for
unions.
very limited
If you
Dude,
think
trucking companies.
union
if
is
you
a
think that the word truckers
is-
and union belongs in the same sentence, you do
Well,
not
they
understand
should.
truckers.
They should though. Everyone
There,
should have a
okay,
union.
so
Everyone should have a union. It doesn't matter what you do. Everything should have a union.
I don't
just
disagree that the workers should have more power and influence over their companies and over their day-to-day life. I definitely agree that they should. But as far as a union specifically, the way that they're implemented in the United States is absolutely awful.
Well, I mean, like, we
Unions
can
should
do
be
it better.
prohibited from political contributions.
Yeah, we could do it better though, right? Like, I don't. Just because it's been done bad in the past doesn't mean it can't be better in the future. It's just like saying.
Well, we'd have to change. We'd have
It's
to
like
change
saying,
the regulations.
it's like saying, hey, we shouldn't vote because our voting system has sucked for 200 years and we've never done it right. It's like, no, we could just change the voting
No.
system to not have an
That's what I do.
Like we could fix it. Like we could progress. We can make progress in our lives. We don't need to be like, everything sucked for the last 50 years. How can we ever
This
do it
this
again?
country has really been going downhill. It's really, really, really gone downhill. It's not the American dream is no longer alive and well.
I know,
Hard
but
work
like,
does
why?
not lead to prosperity anymore because our glorious leaders and all of their infinite wisdom um, set us up for failure for their own success so they can steal from us. They and the corporate overlords. I'm jumping ship at some point. I don't have a specific plan of when, but I'm jumping ship. I'm moving somewhere else.
Yeah.
Then nothing's really going to get, nothing short of a revolution is going to get this country back on track. Like I would rather go to a like an authoritarian nation where they don't even hide that they're authoritarian because at least they're honest about it. I don't mean authoritarian like North Korea or anything. Like that's just suicide. But like in Russia or something, you know how much shit we talk about Russia. Well, at least they don't lie about it. Like they don't even hide that they
What are you
assassinate. I
talking
mean, they
about?
kind
They
of do.
literally lie about their fucking elections to everyone.
No, but that's just so obvious. Like they're not even trying. Like everyone that's
It's
ran
a
against
lie.
Putin.
It's literally a lie.
But they're not even trying. They're not even trying.
It's a
They
literal
lie
lie.
because they have to
No,
lie about
that
that.
doesn't make
They
any
cannot
sense.
say that they cannot say that they politically assassinated old dude that ran against him. He
No,
has
they
to lie
totally
about
can.
it.
That
But
would
it
be
makes
honest. That would be honest and
it makes
transparent.
but just hear me out though. It makes the implication. It's the implication that counts. The
I hear.
implication that you
Okay,
don't stand up to
I'm
your
gonna tell you what I hear. You would rather go to an authoritarian country because at least they're honest about it, and then I point out how they lied on multiple occasions, and you said they had to lie.
that you cannot say.
No,
like,
dude. If you want
protesters.
transparency and honesty, don't go to an authoritarian nation. Is what I'm saying. I'm just gonna point out.
Okay, you got me. You got me on. You got me on half of that. You got me on half of that. I'll take a half loss on that one. The worst part is I'm not even embarrassed.
No, it's fine. I just thought it was funny that you kept going down that rabbit hole, and I was like, you could have just stopped, and then you're like, what about Putin? And I was like, well, funny story about that one. a month ago.
Oh, come on.
I like.
I don't know, man. The whole world's kind of going to shit, though. But I guess it always kind of has been shit. Because, I mean, like, you got all the European wars. China was never really a great dynasty. There was never really a great dynasty to live under in China. The czars and then the Soviets kind of fucked up Russia. All the kingdoms and monarchs in Europe.
China has some good
Africa.
dynasties going.
What
They
is
have
it?
some long dynasties. China has some good dynasties going for them.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
But
There's some
not
good ones.
always. But not always, though, right? I'll be
Well,
honest with you. I don't know much
weird
about
thing about
Chinese
China
history.
is they always had an emperor until the early 20th century. So it's
Right.
not like they're actually a fairly new government if you think about it. They didn't even go into like the Industrial Revolution until like the 1980s.
How you doing, Monkey?
Oh, I'm doing great. Just watching this. Is this a 3-man game you guys got going on?
Yeah, they're taking me on.
It's them two versus you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good way to do a 2v1. Have one guy play allies and the other two play axes. Feels like it's more coherent
Easier
that
to
way.
organize the allies, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, the axe is just very easy to separate into two.
As you notice, I'm trying a little crazy shit here, though. So is he, because he dropped the fucking fleet, but it's Germany. And he's
Some
buying
French
another
is
aircraft
in
carrier.
Germany.
Wait, another? Oh my gosh.
He wants London.
Oh, I just not noticed that. What the heck is what is Princess doing? What is
He's
this
playing.
trash?
He's playing this game. He's playing
Nobody
this game
fucking
like I'm
knows.
playing our tournament game.
Bro,
Nobody
He's
fucking
trying to
knows.
get some payback on me.
this is trash. This is straight trash. I hope you don't win.
This is
Not
garbage.
because
Garbaccio.
I hope you lose, not because I want you to lose, just so it doesn't justify your mistakes.
I know what I'm doing. I have a plan.
You don't have to play this way. You
He's
don't.
telling. You literally just said the proper way of hold my beer.
Gosh. I had such high hopes for you. I thought you would be like one of these great players in the next 2 months
Bro,
or something. You'd be making top 10 or something.
trust me
I
on
walk in,
trust,
I walk into this.
trust me on this big brain play right
Thanks
here.
for watching.
You've been talking to
Trust
my
me,
booty too
bro.
much.
He said, "Hold
You,
my beer." Trust me, bro. I believe you, princess. I have full faith and confidence in you.
you went to the dark side.
Look at that. You won a one-on-one in Archangel.
Look at
You ain't
that.
gonna lose this one.
It's a thing
That's the
of
difference
beauty.
between me and Vabooty. See, Vabooty embraces it. I just dance on the line. I dance on the line of insane.
Booty goes all the way over. I do say that.
I'm putting all these dudes back there. Good. Good. I think we'll do that. And that. This. This. This.
Woo, we got Africa, sort of. We got Northern Africa.
Hmm.
I'm really getting stomped over here in China.
I know. I'm trying to help you.
It looks like they're setting up for a kill Germany first, but
I
the way
know.
that China looks, it looks like a kill Japan first.
I know. Does it look like I helped you though? It's like, do you feel like you have any pressure coming at you anymore besides like a few Russians? Or has my Baltic fleet seemingly giving you the space you need to do whatever the fuck you want now?
I
Ah,
can feel the love and I feel the pressure being lifted.
yeah.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see
Oh
all
my
obstacles
God.
in my way.
You do 37.
So Japan's all the way off. They only have three. They only have 3 territories on Asia. Wow.
right.
What happened in this game? What did you guys do?
Those
I
are
did a
some.
different open that I've learned. So
Let me check 37. Did you
I'm
guys
trying
do
it out.
37?
I'm trying out this different open with Russia.
I see
Well,
that, but
he sent like 5 dudes into China from Russia.
Yeah, that's
you
that.
guys
He
even
sent.
lost an Allen. Oh my goodness.
That's Husky's open spanking.
Where's your
I didn't lose.
transports at? Did you lose
Who?
transport?
Japan's? Japan.
Yeah.
I lost the 61 transport on UK's first turn, like normal,
Yeah.
and then I got 1 in 62, and I got
Oh, I
3 in
see.
There
60.
we go.
Oh, so
Oh, I'm on.
the thing, Andrew, I wanted to say was, so like my dad would complain a lot about like, so he used to work for like UPS, right? And
Yeah,
he's like complaining about the hours, complaining
a
about the
union
pay,
job.
and then complaining about like the president and the economy. And I was like, what are you upset about? And he's like talking about like all the shit, that has to go with like the job and the hours and the pay. I'm like, oh yeah, you should be pretty upset at your CEO, not the president. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Like
But
we
your
we
dad was the CEO of
no, he was
UPS.
working at UPS.
Uh,
And I was like, oh,
but
what
he's
are
mad
you
at the
like?
CEO.
No, he's not the CEO. That'd be sick if he was the CEO. That'd be fucking rich. You think he'd be
No,
playing
no, but
poker?
I'm saying but
If
he's
I
mad at the CEO. Is that what you were
no,
saying?
no, but he's not. He's not.
He was
He's like
saying he's been mad
he's like
instead of mad at the president.
yeah, he's like getting mad at like politics or the state of
Mm,
like the country, and I'm like, well, the person you should be mad at is the dude making 400 times your salary and not actually on the floor
right.
loading up trucks and actually
Are you from
providing
Louisville
value
by
to
any
the
chance?
company. What? No,
Are you?
no,
No, not from Louisville.
no.
No,
Well,
just
it's,
UPS
it's
somewhere
also
else.
like
I
you
mean,
gotta
there's
think
This
about
is
the CEO has more risk though than the worker.
no the CEO does not have more risk than the
Yeah,
worker.
he
The CEO
does.
not
So
not 400, not 400,
he takes on
not
the
400
business
times
risk.
more risk. He
yeah,
does have more risk, but not 400 times more risk.
but he doesn't
Like if
even
the
have
company
risk
fails,
because it's a corporation. There's no risk. There's no risk.
Well, there's definitely risk, but not
yeah,
400 times more
there's a
risk.
lot more risk
No,
than the just the
risk
worker.
might be the wrong word. He has 400 times more responsibility.
But he even doesn't
Not
though.
400
That's what
times. Sorry, he has more responsibility, but not 400 times more.
he
His
doesn't. He's
responsibility
not.
is making sure every single package gets delivered,
That's not his
whereas
responsibility though.
the workers have to deliver, handle one package at a time.
Look, but that what I'm trying to say is like the CEO's not actually doing anything to make sure you get your package.
Sure, he is. He's hiring the HR manager. He's hiring
No,
the
he's not.
finance officer.
He's
He's
not
hiring
hiring
the.
those people. You have a whole C staff that
He's
is in charge of
he's
every little thing.
Okay, so are you saying that there should be no leadership? That a company should just be left up to a vote?
I'm not saying that the company shouldn't have any leadership. I'm saying that wages are
Okay.
drastically out of proportion for the amount of
Well, yeah,
salary you
I
provide to the
definitely
people.
agree with you. They shouldn't be getting
Yeah.
paid 400 times the
No, it
amount.
makes no sense.
Um,
Their job is
but
not any more important than anyone else's. Like it to the
it
point where
is. It is because
it's,
that's why there's only one CEO.
nope, it's not though.
Well,
It's
not.
like
I wouldn't say more
not,
important. More important it wouldn't be the way that I would describe it, but it's
well,
more
yeah. But what I'm saying is like
responsibility.
as part of the team, the amount of money they make compared to everybody else for the amount of effort that everybody else has to put in to make sure stuff happens, it's drastically out of proportion. Drastically out of proportion.
Oh, absolutely agree.
Yeah. So this is what I'm trying to get at. This is going back to like they're just screwing over the working people, right?
Absolutely
like,
agree.
Yeah. So, who's out there fighting for that? Is what I would like to know.
Are you about to say Bernie Sanders?
No, I was about to. I was about to say me. That's my platform, but I gotta wait a year before I can even run for president. Unfortunately.
So you're 34 years old?
Yeah.
This is very valuable information here.
Yeah, as he scribbles it down in his notes.
Yeah, I am. I have to sell your data somehow. Sell your personal information to the highest bidder one way or another, right?
It's already been sold.
I can sell it again.
I have the text
I can
messages.
sell it in
I got the text messages to prove it.
I can sell it in the context of it's coming from a Discord user with some sort of Discord user ID.
Cool. Please don't sell my PPI. I legally can't.
Well, you've already agreed to the contract, and I'm not gonna release you from it.
I didn't agree to any contract.
You did when I digitally forged your agreement.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad I'm recording.
Thanks for letting me know. I was just joking about all of it.
Now I'm suiciding my aircraft carriers into his destroyer. Because
I'm glad that you're suiciding in the game because I was about to get slightly
my
concerned.
partner's a Russian spy who loves Putin's authoritarian, open and
Oh
honest.
shit! I didn't
transparent
realize I
government.
just sent 3 fighters to Manchuria. I just fucked up. Where did I not send fighters to? Of course, Guangdong.
You sent like 10 things there.
Yeah. I should have read my little consolidated message of what my attacks were. This is always my favorite part of the game where I just press the enter button.
I don't use the keyboard. I almost skip turns by pressing the enter button when I'm talking to people on Discord.
Oh, you
It's
got
like,
it.
it's like, are you sure you want to skip to the next phase? You didn't do anything, idiot. And I'm like, no, I don't want to move to the next phase. I am an idiot.
You ever hold down enter before? Just hold it down.
Okay, Jim Carrey. I was talking to them about the key click, like the key presses, like the user input needed in this game. Back during early access, I was like, look, there's some buttons here that are unnecessary. Like when you're in the combat board and it tells you to, or like you have to click a button to start rolling the dice. I was like, that is a useless user input. There is no choice to be made at that point.
All right,
The battle is gonna happen.
Can I argue that point? For presentation purposes, when I'm watching the stream, I'm like, wait. All right, roll now. I like that you can control. There's the stupid animations that play all the time. I hate those. They get in the way.
You can turn those off in your settings.
What?
You can turn animations off in your settings.
How will I know which role is the bombard or the AA guns then?
You have to look at it through the roll log.
Yeah, I don't like that. I want to know before it rolls.
No, you can turn the anime. You'll still see the 4 different categories or 5. It's 4 different categories of dice being rolled. It just doesn't animate it. But if you're worried about the animations, I mean, you could turn that. Or I meant the presentation. You should probably keep the animations on.
So many attacks.
I'm not tired. I'm just yawning. So Kool-Aid. I'm sorry. How's your name pronounced?
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I got it right then, basically. You said you were a driver?
You just call him Kool-Aid, man.
I said Kool-Aid.
You definitely call him
Oh
Kool-Aid.
yeah. I mean, it's very close. Very close. But you said you were a driver?
I was at one point, yes.
Why'd you quit?
Diabetes.
Oh, that sucks. They won't let you drive with that, or you just didn't want to?
My pancreas stopped working, so it's uncontrolled, so they won't let me drive now. But yeah, I know people who
Sucks.
drive with nitro pills. So
Which have you worked for any of the big fleets?
Warner, FFE.
I was actually gonna ask you Werner specifically, but then I was like, you know what? That's
England.
one specific big fleet. So what's it like working for a big fleet? Because this is the biggest one I've worked for at Trans Am.
Warner was okay, but a lot of them was just a lot of politics, man. You gotta know the right people to get the right loads. I was an owner op, so I was in the different side. I wasn't with the company people, you know. So you have to know the right people to get the right loads that pay the right money. And you gotta say
Yeah,
no.
that's why I'd never want to have to deal with. I never want to have to deal with that because it's kind of stupid. My dispatcher's all right though. I talked to him one day. I was like, dude, I want these 1,000-mile routes because 1,000-mile routes are you know, I only have to be on at a customer's yard, not getting paid to load or unload for 2 hours at a time on either end. Why would I want these 100-mile routes? Doesn't make any sense. And then I started getting more 1,000-mile routes. But I also don't stop moving the truck. I think most drivers are only gonna roll for like 8 hours a day.
No, I couldn't do that. When they changed the laws to only the 10 hours a day, I was so pissed. But I didn't follow.
It's 11. The whole time I've been driving,
it was 11.
I've been driving since May of last year. That's when I was in school, and it was 11 back then. But I think it was under Trump, like so probably 2018.
When you had to take a 10-hour break.
Oh,
that fucking shit sucked.
I'm not sure. I think it's always. I mean, you've always had to have an off day, or not off day, but like off time between your shifts, right? Like
we only had to do like 8, and I always did split. You know, like 4 and 4, because you get split. But the 10 was that's a lot. That's 120 miles. You know, average.
Yeah. Is it? It's 600 miles, 10 hours. Oh, you meant for the extra 2 hours, 120 miles.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I'm not really too miffed about it. I mean, if I could work for 16 hours and take 8 off, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Well, I work for like 16, 20 hours usually. You know how you never.
Okay, so I did
a lot of LGL, so I was doing a lot of unloading and unloading. So you know, I cheated that all the time.
Absolutely, you have to sometimes. I did this with my last company. Had like everything was all their trucks were 04 Peterbilts, and they had e-logs in them because they were post 2000, but it was just like a really technologically obsolete company, and I rolled for 5 days straight one time. No drugs, just rolled for 5. I had a lot of caffeine, a lot of Mountain Dew, a lot of energy drinks. But you know, a lot of times I'd pull into a customer early before they open, so I'd get my 2-3 hours nap there, wake up, unload, and this was all flatbed. Everything was still coils, so I actually had to work to unload, at least as far as unchaining the coils. I rolled for 5 days straight. It was crazy.
Totally understand.
I hope that you're not an undercover government agent working for DOT, FMCSA.
Fuck them. You gotta give me drug tests in a fucking weigh station before?
No shit. I mean, I knew they could give you a roadside drug test. I didn't know they actually did.
Good thing I had a fake pee with me.
Oh man.
Dude, the way I was running, I had to have stuff with me. I'm just saying.
Right, I got you.
You can really make money, man. It's the only way you can really make money.
Yep. You can't really make much money as a trucker. I mean, you can make a living on it, but you can't really like get ahead. Not the way it is right now. And every owner operator I talk to now is saying that you're making more money as a company driver currently. I do want to be an owner operator though. I do want to buy a truck, but this company Trans Am governs all their trucks at 62. It's company policy. So even if I'm an owner operator, I'm still going to be governed at 62.
That's by
So I'm not.
design. Just telling you, it's by design to force you into a union so that they can take dues and contribute it to guess who? The
Most
very
people aren't in a
people
union.
saddling you with those regulations.
Most people aren't in a union. That's for sure.
I'm
The
in a union.
62 ain't a union policy. That's a company policy. We don't have a union. That's
Yes,
just that they just don't want to. They just don't want to get a ticket. They don't want their CSA score to go up. They don't want us to speed because they have to pay a fine. In addition to my speeding ticket, they have to pay a fine if I
but
speed.
what the bureaucrats are doing in DC and the regs they're passing down with emissions and everything else, it is designed to force you into that condition.
Oh
But
yeah,
what
everything
you
is
know,
designed to take more money from someone who
I'm a
works.
tradesman that works in a right to work state where I've been told if I go up north, you can't work there because you're non-union. You refuse to join a union. If you're in New York and you're non-union, you don't work.
I
Period.
just realized that's of a Bodie talking. How you doing, bud? How long you been
I'm
in
gonna
here?
shut up. I'm gonna shut up. I'm just saying, man. I mean, it's like I hear people raging about this stuff and how hard it is to make a living, and then they go out and vote Democrat, and I'm like, okay, don't feel sorry for you. I mean, you're voting
100,
against your own interest every time you do that. Stop doing that, and shit will get better.
100% facts, my dude.
Wait, so who do you vote
You
for?
really think voting makes a difference?
Oh,
After
oh, God.
2020,
Oh,
no, I do
bro.
not. No, I
Oh,
have.
bro. I,
Oh, here we go.
I like how we're all here
wait,
complaining
wait,
about
wait.
the
Wait.
politics and everything.
If there's one thing we gotta talk about, it's that this boy doesn't think his vote matters. Oh, bro.
No, it doesn't though.
No,
It
you're.
doesn't
But the
because
I
people
electoral
was a
operate
college doesn't
different
have
votes.
vote matter.
hardcore. I was a hardcore activist in the Republican Party for 20 years, and this is what I've learned: Democrats cheat every chance they get. Republicans are weak. They are pussies.
Yes,
They do not push back. And
that's how
so
they
the
have a
Democrats
duopoly.
get away with it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter which way you vote, you're getting fucked. So it's the lesser of two evils. Vote for the party that is going to steamroll. I mean, they get, like here in Virginia,
Wait, so
they
what's
get
the
swept
policy?
into, hold on, hear me out. They
No,
get
no, I
swept
want to
into
know the
power.
policy.
They cram their entire agenda down your throat in 6 months and give the governor 2 weeks to veto or sign it, like what's going on now. Or the Republicans win and the Democrats go, oh, you need to compromise, you need to be bipartisan. The Republicans never cram their agenda down anyone's throat because we just want to live and let live. And it's literally, this is not the hill to die on. This is not the hill to die on. This is not the hill to die on. Folks, we're running out of fucking hills.
What
Yeah,
policy do you
you
want?
got that right.
What
You
policy do
should
you
you
want?
should check out libertarianism. You shouldn't be a Republican. You should be a libertarian.
Yeah, I don't know what
I
you're talking
actually
about.
am.
You don't sound like a Republican. That's kind of confusing to me.
Where I part ways with libertarians
Uh-huh.
is they're foolish and understand this comes from a former naval officer, right?
Hmm.
Their foolish foreign policy, like geopolitical reality, there are two options: project power or power gets projected onto you. There is no mind your own business option.
What about
And that is
what
the
about this?
fatal
Have a
flaw with
strong
libertarians.
military. How about have a strong military, but don't project that on other people.
Yeah, last time I checked, that's what Trump did. Even though I can't stand the motherfucker.
Did he
Like I'm
really do that
holding
when
my
he?
no.
Did he really do that with Al Baghdadi, the dude that cried like a little girl when the dog went after him? Did he do that when he stayed in Iraq and Afghanistan? Did he do that when
Points
I mean,
well
I'm sure.
taken. Points well taken. And we have no quarrel. We're actually seeing it the same way because you're talking to a guy who was over there and lost brothers and sisters over there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Yeah, it's literally it's you can't just sit back in your borders and mind your own business, especially when your borders are wide open, right? And you have a welfare state. Um, my issue with libertarians is a lot of them take it too far and they go to what do they call it? Anarcho capitalism. That'll never work, right? So
yep.
I think if you're familiar and up to speed on the doctrine or whatever the hell it is they call it, and I'll tell you the point at which I was done with libertarians. 2016, the GOP selected Trump, right?
Yeah.
Libertarians had one chance to provide a viable alternative. You know what we got? A
Gary
fat
Johnson was a.
motherfucker doing the truffle shuffle at the national convention on national TV. You
I thought they had
forever made
Gary Johnson.
yourselves a joke when you did that.
I don't remember that one. Um, but
Google
no,
it.
as far as the open borders, I'll have to. As far as the open borders are concerned, that's really only like half of libertarians. We like that's not even. I don't even think that our the party. I'm not a libertarian like a libertarian party member. I'm just a libertarian in ideology. I'm what they call a little L libertarian.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I think you and I are kindred spirits in that regard.
but as far as the open borders policy, that's only like half of libertarians believe in that, but all of us believe that there should not be a welfare state. Um, and we
The
all believe that
two, yeah, the two cannot mutually coexist. You got to pick one or the
correct.
other.
And there's only one sort of faction of the libertarians that kind of believe in doing either of those, but not both of them. It's the radical libertarian, whatever the caucus is, the radical, or extremist or something. No, I think they call themselves the radical libertarians or something. But they believe that they should take any inch that they can get. So if there were some sort of law saying, on the books saying, uh, to abolish the welfare state, even if the border wasn't going to be open, they would be in favor of that. But even worse than that, if there was a law on the books saying to open the border, but but not abolish the welfare state before they do that, they would be in favor of that because it kind of promotes that libertarian idea. Now, as far as an actual open border, I don't believe in that. I think there should be a free flow of immigration, but they should be checked at the border because we got to know who it is that's coming into the nation.
I agree. I agree.
And
On
but
that, we have
but
zero departure.
just because they come to the United States doesn't mean that they should have a pathway to citizenship either. I think there should be a high standard for that, and it shouldn't just be that they're avoiding um, persecution in their home country. It should be something like, if they're avoiding persecution, that's all well and good. We can give them residency without giving them citizenship, without providing a pathway to citizenship. I don't have an issue with that. But the actual citizenship, there should be qualifications on that, and definitely a civics test, and probably an English test as well, because Canada is going through this issue right now, as well as pretty much any other nation that's ever had a split language. Like you've got Quebec, where they speak French, and the whole rest of Canada, where they speak English. They can't even like they can hard. I don't want to say they can't communicate with each other because a lot of Canadians are bilingual because of that, but it's the communication is slightly more difficult. There's a higher threshold for them to communicate compared to basically any other country in the world. We should have a official language. Not saying other languages are banned, of course, but any documents, any contracts,
Well,
all legal.
you're talking about assimilation, and that's the problem we
Yeah,
have. Be it in Europe, Canada, or here, they're coming in, but they're not assimilating. They're bringing their
exactly.
culture, their language, all their stuff. And as we're finding out the hard way, the third world gangs, gangsters, drug lords, and all the bullshit that comes with it. No. I mean, there was a video last week of like 100 so called migrants storming a border check area. My response is that's an invasion. Shoot them in the fracking head. It doesn't happen anymore.
It's funny. Because we were talking about this, I'm pretty sure it was before you hopped in the voice chat, but like if you look at Trump's statements from like 1988, like the late 80s or whatever, he was saying basically the same thing that he's saying today. But if you look at Biden's statement from the late 80s, Biden's contradicting himself from the late 80s. Trump was saying
Oh,
basically the exact same thing that we're saying and that he's saying now or back then.
Biden versus Biden, Biden versus Biden is like John Kerry and steroids. I mean, Mr. Flip Flop himself.
Mm-hmm.
What did he say in the 80s versus now?
Biden, so he was talking about basically what the current Republican talking points are. We need a border wall. We need to have a functional immigration system where there is, some sort of pathway to citizenship at a high standard. We need to have English tests and
With a
civics
vetting
tests.
system. With a vetting
A vetting
system.
system. Yep. And now, obviously, what he's saying is that we need to open the border. We need to let more people in, which is, I mean, this is basically solely because he knows that immigrants are going to be more likely, or at least historically have been more likely to vote for Democrats compared to Republicans. He's basically trying to import
because of the
voters.
welfare state. Because of the welfare state. But I mean,
Yep.
I think the thing
Bring
where
them in
they
and put them on
really,
welfare,
I
and that's
think
going to
they really
solidify them as
messed up.
Democrat voters generationally.
I really think they messed up yesterday when they did the whole rainbow flag stuff, recognizing it on Easter Sunday. That was a
It's
huge
because
fuck
they
up.
want a culture war. They want a culture war. They want to
And
pit
they're
us
going to
against
get
one
it.
another.
They're going to get
They
it.
want to. Well, I don't want it. Okay, I don't want to go to war. I want peace, and I want to be able to go to work and make some money. I'd
Nobody
like
wants
to be able to. I'd like to be able to fucking raise a family, but with the way the economy is, I can't even afford a girlfriend because I'm either gonna work enough to not have any time so I can make ends meet, or I'm gonna not work enough to make ends meet. So there's no point in getting a
And see,
girlfriend.
but understand this. All right. I'm the father of 4. My youngest is headed off to Radford this fall, right? My baby girl up and out. And for the last 5 years, I've been fighting this rot gut in the public schools, this
Right.
normalization, this
And you're
normalization of
hold on, hold
freakish
on.
behavior and positions, right? And there are a lot of people like me who are freaking fed up, and we're literally at a point where we've tried to be rational, we've tried reason debate. It keeps getting crammed down our throat. We keep getting canceled. We keep getting censored. When does the shooting start, and how many of the motherfuckers can I take out before they make me stop? That's where the
Okay,
parents
we can't talk
are
about
at.
we can't
Yeah,
talk
dude,
about it
that's
like
fucking
that.
crazy, man.
We can't talk about shooting. We can't talk about a literal war. We can't do that.
I'm
But
talking
I know where you're coming from.
metaphorically. I'm talking
Yeah,
metaphorically.
as am
We're
Metaphorically.
I.
talking about that
I
on
love
YouTube.
metaphors.
Can I have
We're on YouTube.
someone please explain to me the metaphor because I missed it. I'm not good at metaphors and analogies.
The metaphor is that I don't want this Discord shut down for
Me neither.
that comment, and therefore
Yeah,
it's a metaphor.
yeah.
All right,
You're saying
then.
it's a
Well,
quick.
no, it was a metaphor. It's stop shoving. It's the libertarian position. Back to that. You do you.
Well,
Stop
like,
shoving your way of life down my
I
but like,
throat.
do
There's
me.
the metaphor.
but
Stop
like,
shoving your agenda down
you
my
guys,
throat and stop
no one's shoving
pushing
it
it
down.
in the public schools, right?
Yeah, stop. I was about
That
to say
you
that.
force
Stop forcing it
me
on the
to
kids.
pay for. You force me to pay for that. Stop. And if you're
Three,
not going to
four.
stop,
Fuck.
Do you expect everything that you believe to be the only things presented at schools, though?
Not at all. Not at all. But what's happening in the public schools is only one agenda is being presented, only one side, and any parent that objects, any student that subjects,
What's
they
the
get
other side?
canceled. And you
What's the
have
other
stuff
side?
like what went on in London County, where
What's
the
the other
federal
side?
officials are labeling you a terrorist
What's the
and
other
a
side?
national security threat, and asking you,
What's
having the
the other?
FBI surveil you.
So what?
It's crazy. They had the
What's the other
FBI
side? What's the
investigating
other side?
Catholics.
What's the other side that needs to be presented?
The side that doesn't deviate, and that's the key word. That was the key word that caught me canceled on Facebook, where they censored me for 30 days, and I'm like, out. I posted the dictionary definition from Webster's of a deviant, right? And they canceled me for 30 days. Okay.
You got
Deviant
Facebook. You got
behavior.
suckered.
Behavior that varies from the norm. I don't care what you do. Don't care who you love. Don't care what you're into.
Okay,
Stop
so
force
what's
feeding
normal?
it to freaking kindergartners.
What's normal?
Normal.
What are you deviating from? Deviating from the norm. What's the norm?
When
How
you
about boys in the
represent
boys'
less
restroom,
than
girls in the girls'
2%,
restroom? How about boys do boys sports, girls do girls sports? Which I'm
yes,
not.
that's a
I'm not
good
even
start.
opposed. I'm not even opposed to. I'm not even opposed to what do they call it? Like intramural sports or like co-ed sports. But if you're gonna have a specific girls' league, and that's the way it's always been, we need to have an actual
If you're
we
a
as the adults
biological male,
need
you
to
don't
have.
get to play.
If we as adults need to have an actual conversation before they just start shoving biological males into biological girls sports, because that was never part of the deal. How about we can look at I mean, literally anything that the Democrats have done and half of what the Republicans have done. If you want to look at like Roe v. Wade, for example, we as a country, we already were having conversations about abortion, and in fact that's wrote into Roe v. Wade that a lot of states and a lot of local jurisdictions have been relaxing their laws on abortion. So there's this cultural push towards allowing abortion. This turned into the largest cultural debate that we had in this nation about whether or not there should or should not be abortion. In fact, if there had not been a Roe v. Wade, there probably would be a federal, or not federal, but there probably would be a mostly universal protection for abortion by this point,
There will
because
be.
the whole nation was already on the path towards abortion becoming a sort of normal thing. But now we have this culture war over abortion. Other places where we can have some normalcy. Um, how about with we stop playing games with our economic policy? I know we talked a lot about economics tonight, but how about stop changing the rules on how we measure statistics? For example, Obama changed the rule, or the Obama administration, I should say, it wasn't Obama specifically, changed the rules on how we measure full-time employees, because it used to be 40 hours as a full-time employee. Now it's 32 hours, and it's not just the Democrats that do it. Like Trump changed things on how we measure our statistics as well.
Yeah, they're always gonna do whatever the best way to
That
show
Whatever's
my
convenient for them, not
point
the
of
best way.
view, my point of view to answer the basic question that you asked, Princess, goes back to the libertarian position. Okay, you do you, I do me. Right?
Yeah, but like what? But what
I
I'm saying
don't
is
care
like, what
about your
is
decisions. The minute, yeah, and again, abortion. Here's an example. Okay, I don't care what you want to do. I call it one thing, you call it another, you see it different, all good. The minute the minute you ask public money to go to it, it's no
Yeah,
longer
there you
your
go.
personal private issue. You've made it a public issue. You're requiring me to pay for something I don't agree with.
I understand.
I'm good with you and everyone else.
So that makes
But
sense
at
to
the
me, right?
point where you start taking, if your position is different, and you start force feeding that to kindergartners, and you have
Yeah, there
pre-juvenile
you go.
kids taking puberty blockers, and you start cutting off extremities or part of their anatomy because
Oh
they're
shit.
confused while you push
You should do some
The
research.
confusion.
I don't think that's
Yeah, we
actually
have a
happening
problem.
very often as you think it is. But
Well,
Crazy.
I'm
They
just
wanna-
tired of. I'm tired of less than 2% of the population dictating to the other 98. I'm done.
How about once they want to
right?
cut parents out, once they want to say that parents or that teachers are no longer allowed to speak to parents about issues, and they get to protect the that's what they say is protect the children by not keeping the parents involved in what the child is doing at school. So if the
That's
child
my
wants to
kid,
talk to the
not
teacher,
yours.
exactly, it's they want to take control of the state or raising the children when that has never been their responsibility. That's the parents' responsibility to raise the kids, and their
And
right
that
to raise
goes
the
back
kids,
to
and their right to
Stalin.
know.
Give me a
They need to
generation
put,
of your youth, and I'll have socialists forever.
yep,
Well, I think it all always comes down to like there's never going to be a perfect government. Like they can look through the history. There's never a perfect
see, and
government.
this is where the ideology of libertarian comes from, because there won't be. That's why you need less government, because it's gonna
Well,
suck. The government is
like
good at
it
exactly
doesn't
one
matter
thing,
whether
and
it's
that's
less
killing
government or
people.
more government. There's always pros and cons. Like with
Yeah.
do you know America
Well,
actually
with
tried
not
that?
enough government, then
When
you have
they
anarchy.
just look at America itself.
If there's less
When America,
government, then it's more of my responsibility than someone else's responsibility. And at
yeah,
least
but there's
if I
always
don't get
pros
my
and
way at
cons
that
to
point,
that.
it's my fault at that point.
You just gotta
Guys,
learn to
I'm
live
sorry
with
I
the
came up
government you
here
have.
and started all this shit, man. I apologize.
Dude, we were talking about economic policy like since the very beginning of this. You're good, man. You
You
actually
just gotta learn
rekindled
to
the
live within the government.
Yeah, my position is simply this again, and I'm going to reiterate it a third time. You do you. You live your life the way you choose to live it. You raise your children the way you choose to live it. The minute you start forcing your agenda down my throat, and moreover, the minute you start teaching my children through the public schools that you require my children to attend your agenda, we got a
Yeah,
problem.
talk to me about those homeschool exemptions. They don't exist.
Not in Virginia. No, I mean they tell you that homeschooling is available in Virginia. You can do this. No, no, no. It's a nightmare. It's like pulling teeth. I'd rather deal with the fucking IRS. You know what I'm saying? If my daughter were
That's
not a
powerful.
rising senior heading out, if she were back in grade school, make no mistake, I would deal with that shit to homeschool her to get her out of the rock gut they're teaching in the public schools. Because these kids are graduating from high school and they're high school graduates and they don't know dick. I came up in the 80s, I know more from with a high school education than most of your master's graduates nowadays. And that's a fact. That's how
Well, you
far
know
it's
what they're
gone.
teaching in master school? They're just teaching you they're just teaching you how to like make friends basically. That's all a school is. How can you be socially popular so that so your coworkers don't
How
make a
can you
bogus
build
complaint on you
how can you
so that you
network and
can,
make
yeah.
yourself successful? No, back in my time it was when I went to Virginia Tech, it was they didn't teach me what to think, they taught me how to think. And sometimes my thinking's off and needs correction. I think every person in this room can attest to that, as
I
evidenced
think
by
I
my
got
gameplay sometimes. But at least I can think for myself. And I'm not just, as I've always stated on the threads, a bot following a script. I'm going to shut up now.
No, preach it. Oh,
But it's
wait,
kind of
were we
interesting
supposed to
because
do
you were
another
talking
game
about
at
smaller
9 o'clock with
governments. Because you
the,
talk about smaller governments, America tried that when they first became independent. They were under the Articles and Confederation.
right?
So basically, it
Wrong.
was very small. No, it wasn't. They
That
had a
wasn't
small
really so
No,
much
government.
of a
Articles of
big government versus
Confederation
small
actually
government. That was
centralized.
federalist versus
Articles
anti-federalist.
Confederation actually centralized the government and gave it more power. If you actually go back and read the Federalist Papers and the Anti-Federalist Papers, you'll find that to be true. That's why it failed early and quick, and they recognized it early.
Yeah, it failed early and quick because the government had no power. They couldn't get money or sustain a government. because war is expensive, and they went to war with England.
Yeah, but the
But
thing is that the federal government keeps taking more and more power, and it's taking more liberty from us.
Well, you look at stuff
I
like
no longer.
you look at stuff like 9/11. We gave up freedom for security, and those other instances. You look at stuff like the Great Depression. We gave up more freedom for more security because people were dying and starving. So we allowed
As
the
we
government
did
to
after
go involved.
9/11.
It happened throughout the America's history. There was give and take. We gave up stuff so we would be more secured, or think we were more secured. Whether or not
Yeah, but
that's
that's
the
the
case,
issue
but
is that
that's what
they
happened.
the government takes our liberty,
Yeah,
but we
but
never get it back. You don't see
Name
the
one
TSA going out of business, do you?
Hold up.
Oh my God, you bought a
Name one
complex?
government program, one, that has ever gone away or gotten smaller. Just one. I'll wait.
I don't know.
You
Whatever
can be
you're looking
waiting for a
at,
long, long time. I'm not holding my breath.
interesting talking about the small governments, and because that's what America tried to do at first, but it failed. So then they made a bigger government, and it
I
was
mean,
under.
technically it was a smaller government, but that wasn't really so much of a debate over big government versus small government. It was pretty much universally accepted that it needs to be a small government, and it was a relatively small government when the Constitution was established. The
on.
debate that was
Andrew,
federalist
wait,
versus
Andrew.
anti-federalist.
Game
For
stuff.
instance.
Game stuff.
Okay.
Can you get like the V8 engines in your Toyota Prius through China, please? I'm trying so hard over here.
Oh shit.
Trying
I had
so
a pretty
hard.
rough
Do you mean the ones where the batteries do contribute to more global warming and Earth
Oh my god! I was
scalping
just trying to
than
make a metaphor
on
here.
that
game stuff
$20
here.
ram
Yeah,
line?
look, I just worked my way through China more than I probably should have last
I
turn.
know.
I stacked a couple artillery on Kazakh. I couldn't do Kazakh and Xinjiang, so I wanted to kill that Russian tank. I'm working on something here.
All right, okay.
I
I'm just checking in. I'm just checking in while I'm fucking around over here.
had
No,
a rough
seriously,
opening.
and then I'm
I
gonna
don't
shut
know
up.
how much.
Honestly,
I don't know how much longer I can fuck around over here. So I'm just
Well,
checking in to make sure.
I'm
and
also just
seriously, then
letting
I'm gonna
UK
shut
hold
up.
Borneo.
The
Oh
reason
man.
conservatives naturally
All
find
right,
their
but
home
Gordy,
with the
you didn't
Libertarian
answer my
Party.
question. You
The
didn't answer my question.
reason they don't is because of the wacko foreign policy. If libertarians got their shit together with that, the Republican Party would collapse.
The Republican Party doesn't have policy.
No, because they're a bunch of pussies.
Well, that's why I was asking. I was like, what policy?
Moron.
What policy
sorry,
do you
go
want to see? What do you want, like, your ideal presidential candidate to run on? Like, what platform? Like, regardless of party.
I kind of like
Peace
Vivek.
through strength.
What through strength?
Peace.
Peace through strength. All right, interesting position.
Yeah, it worked for Reagan.
Thank you.
That's interesting, dude.
Reagan is not all he was hyped up to be. Reagan actually kind of sucked.
Which head?
Reagan was pretty bad. Reagan was basically the source of all our problems. But
Iran Contra comes to mind.
I think the source of our problems was when America was first created, the country.
Bro, what?
Yeah, we should totally be ruled by people who.
I think it's
we should totally be ruled by people who can't figure out if they're a boy or a girl. I agree.
I don't think anyone's being
Absolutely.
ruled by
If they're confused about their own gender, then how are they gonna intentionally fuck up our country? I'd rather them accidentally fuck it up, because if they can't get that right, they can't get basic biology right.
1 second, guys. 1 second, guys. 1 sec. The opinions of these people are not necessarily my opinions. Thank you. Just had to say that.
Oh, he's on stream. We're literally talking
Oh, okay.
we're having these crazy
debate on his stream.
On stream. Hey, he's
Yeah,
giving
but what's cool is
hey,
we're all
watch out!
going.
What? Watch
back
out,
and
Hassan.
forth.
Watch out, Hassan
We're-
Piker. We're coming for you, baby.
We're all going back
We
and
need-
forth, and there's no hard feelings. So that's pretty fucking
We need
awesome.
to get Imperious Leader. Well, I was about to address that. We need to get Imperious Leader and Moose Green in here to start debating. Well, that's going to give us some hard feelings, but if we get the two of those
Colane's gonna
to
have
get their heads
50,000
together in this,
subscribers by the end of the week if we keep having these conversations.
Imperious Leader is about as totalitarian.
And not the ones I probably want.
We're gonna make Cullen famous.
Yeah, we're all gonna get a cut out of this communist.
Love you, brother.
Podcast.
Cool. We love you, brother.
We're unionizing this podcast right now. When Colane's famous, he doesnn't take 400 times percent more than we do.
no, he just gets a 50% cut of whatever the income is because he has the internet that he's streaming this on, and he's streaming it on
Plus
Discord
the
too. and
dudes that come in every month.
Show me the receipts. We're the talent, baby. You gotta pay the talent.
No, he's gonna give us potatoes.
Potatoes.
Just enough
Oh,
to keep us
no.
coming. Yeah,
You wouldn't even give 'em-
potatoes.
Not even the decency.
Not
to
even
give 'em
McDonald's.
taco form?
Not even McDonald's potatoes. These are gonna be potatoes like
McDonald's
like
potatoes.
from
Anyway,
an Irish
guys,
family farm.
I'm starting a long, hard job tomorrow. That's 2.5 hours down, 2.5 hours back. Appreciate all you. I'll catch up with you later, man.
Wait,
Y'all
you have to
enjoy.
travel
Have a
two
good
and a
evening.
half hours?
Bye.
Yeah, both ways.
5 hours of travel? So like, are you staying down there till the job's done?
Yeah, no.
Oh, so you're just gonna drive and then work 8 hours and then drive back?
Pretty much.
That's intense.
But it's gonna suck. But hey, it's in the job description. It's what they pay me to do. Just want to say I appreciate all you.
Oh, come on.
I appreciate the fun, lively conversation. I'm gonna head out, and all of you take it light. Seriously, I call all of you brothers or sisters if you identify that way.
You gotta get a theme song in here.
I identify as a princess.
Well,
Yeah, I
thanks for
kind of
joining us.
figured that
Thanks
out.
for keeping the
I got you,
political
sister.
commentary
I got
running.
you.
It was good talking to you. Always good talking to you, Bodhi. And hope to see you around soon.
Yeah.
Feel the power.
What's that one song? Goes, hey, brother.
Know the blood, or know the water's thick, blood is thicker.
That's what I think when Vabuda comes in here. Hey, brother.
That's Avicii, the dude that was gonna whistleblow on something for someone against someone, and then he ended up committing suicide
Oh wow,
because
that
of
one.
depression. Well, that's what he gets. That's what he gets for whistleblowing on our glorious leaders and all of their infinite wisdom.
All right, are you gonna win the game, Andrew? Because I've done my job here.
I believe in you, Andrew.
There's
Well,
not
I
a
guess
single.
the other ones.
There's not a
The other
single.
one is your.
Not a single UK or American troop on European soil at the moment, and we're in round 5.
Oh geez, are we already at 5 rounds in? I feel like it's like round 2 or 3 based on the Japanese forces and where they're at.
I know.
I am working on something here.
I have America
don't have
building
any.
a Pacific fleet in the Atlantic, so there's that.
Yeah, they're far behind. I think what Germany building a fleet in this context did, I think they basically just shifted the round count backwards by 4.
Mhm.
It's round 5 minus 4 because of the German fleet.
Yeah.
Except for the Russian
and
presence.
I got the battleship to actually escape the Med, which was kind of fun.
That was cool, but I saw that you just yeeted your transport in 16.
Yeah, I wanted to take Ukraine and have a force to retake it with.
What's up with that? That's some crazy Germany. Some variant of the silent hunter.
I like how at the beginning of this, Princess was like, "I got this. I got a plan. I know what I'm doing," and then just now he's like, "So you're gonna win this for us, right, Andrew?" And I'm like,
well, the plan was for you to win it. The plan was to be so distracting that Japan wins.
That's actually why I'm talking about economic policy and cultural policy, is to try to distract Quillane.
Hasn't worked.
He's had the conversation.
Well, yeah, I noticed that. That's why I shifted it to talking about Werner and trucking.
That didn't
Give us
work
some
either.
nostalgic vibes.
You just need to keep pushing. Keep on trucking. Your Kazakh stack's gonna be pretty tasty.
Yeah, for me to kill.
You shouldn't have said that. Now he's gonna pull everything back from West Russia.
Oh, good. Maybe that's what I want. It's all part of the plan, baby.
Actually, I wouldn't mind that too much because then, like, we might be able to dead zone Kazakh.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's not really great, but it's better than him stacking it.
All right, do like 6 subs here, an aircraft carrier, and another plane, some destroyers. What are you thinking?
To try to fend off the American fleet? Do you even have to at this point? You got 4 fighters. Well, he has 3.
He's got 3. He's matching. We're matching.
I didn't. Well, you're defending 4 fighters beats his.
That's true.
Attacking 3 by a lot. I don't think a couple subs hurts, but as far as 6 of them, that might be overkill. That's enough to send 2 subs to C Zone 22, 2 subs to C Zone 4, plus have 2 more for the fleet. That's what you want, ain't it? Do you still have your bomber?
No, I traded it a while ago.
Sad.
Yeah.
Would have been cool to attack Egypt. No, I think any more Navy is kind of a mistake actually, because you're not going to win the naval game. You're not going to sea lion him.
I'm not trying to sea lion. I'm just trying to fuck around.
I know, but he's got 18 infantry right there and 7 fighters.
Don't believe in Princess. Right. You got this.
There's no fighters there.
To your navy.
There's no fighter there. None. 0.
So I guess drop your navy in 13. What'd you actually do? Okay. So quiet since Vavodi left.
Yes, let me reiterate. Let me reiterate: the opinions expressed are not necessarily mine.
If we were running your stream, you could have let us know. We would have stopped talking politics.
No, you guys stopped when I was going to stop you when he went a little overboard.
Yeah, that was overboard. That actually, speaking of which,
That was really overboard.
I'm actually gonna ask the other moderators if they think I should do anything about that, because that one was way too far.
No, it's okay. I'm the blitz moderator. I would have shut him up if I needed to, but you guys stopped him before I had to say anything, so it's good.
It would be one thing if it was like over chat, but it was over voice.
I don't. Really the only difference between that is how much proof there is, because we can't really normally prove what's said in voice chat. So like if there's like a 5-hour video, for example, that we have to look through to find something, like nobody really has time to listen to a 5-hour video to find out what happened. That's really the only difference. But if he's gonna say it, it's the same thing as him typing it out.
It's about at the.
Like I said, it's one thing if it was on chat. But...
It's in the YouTube verse now.
I did have doubts about your build, Princess, but I don't know. Maybe it has merit, or maybe it has potential. But I don't know if Kulan played it correctly. It's interesting. What do you think about it, Kulan? The Navy G1.
Just made me build troops in London, which was annoying.
Yeah.
And I should have moved to 13 when I did. I should have waited another turn. That was my own mistake.
I would have been tempted to bait London. I would have set up USA for a retake and baited Germany to go for it. I think that could have been interesting.
I don't want to get Germany all those IPC though.
Yeah, but it also, it's expensive for them to take. It's not easy. But I do like how big Russia is. Russia seems like it's doing good.
Let's see. Do I have enough? Plausible. I don't know. Let me think about that for a minute.
I think the sports question is an interesting problem.
The what question?
How do you where should trans children play sports?
Oh.
Well, the issue isn't
do you play on what team do you play on? Because there are biological pieces at play there, regardless of whatever your gender you want to identify as, or stuff like that.
So here's where I start to have an issue with it. We as a society, for better or worse, have done two things. One of them complements the other. The first thing is that we have separated boys and girls sports. Personally, I think that's for the best. but whether or not it's for the best is kind of irrelevant. The second thing that we've done is we've actually instituted specific protections for girls and young women's sports, as far as like college athletics, the young women's sports, and what they call Title IX protections to make those separate than men's sports, and to ensure that even if they are not receiving funding from the free market, so there are less people showing up to the women's NCAA championship compared to the men's NCAA championship, so they're of course getting less revenue. We've instituted public funding to go to, or I don't know if it's exactly public funding goes towards the women's NCAA games, or if it's maybe the schools are required to split the funding between men, like the funding that comes in from men's sports to bankroll the women's sports. But I think that that's not, either way of doing that is not really a terrible policy. I'm not too big of a fan of public funding going towards these institutions, but since we're going to have funding going there anyway, we might as well make it equal.
Oh, Andrew, I forgot to move my African guys.
You
Oh
fool!
crap!
You
Yeah,
lost the game.
Yeah,
I know. I
that's
tried
it.
so hard
Might
to
as
get
well
them.
resign now.
I tried so hard.
Um,
I worked so hard to get them there, and I was like, oh sweet, I'm gonna have 2 more ICs this turn, and then I'm gonna have 4 on top of that the turn after.
so technically, I can send 2 fighters down to you. No, I don't have any on that aircraft carrier. One, two. No, no, can't send any fight. I thought I had some fighters in 61.
I mean, it's fine. He forgot to.
Technically, I could send a bomber to you
I
to
don't
give
think
you
you
one
should.
more HP.
It's
It's
well. I
not
mean,
really worth it, no.
he only has a plane that can hit me, so.
Yeah. No, he has one, two, three.
He also forgot
One,
to
two,
attack
three.
his dude.
The UK. Oh, he didn't attack with the UK. Okay, yeah. You have a chance.
I have a chance. So you're saying there's a chance?
Hope and a prayer. That's all you need. A hope and a prayer.
Um. I'm
I
gonna go
guess
back to this real quick.
they forfeit their rights, like to play sports. Is severe to say. That's the extreme
No,
viewpoint you can
I just
have.
think I
that
just think like people are like freaking out over it for no reason. I think that like you could like we made a women's league when women wanted to play sport. Like there used to be a blacks only league. Because we didn't want black people to play with white. Like it's like it's just called like okay, cool. Think about the problem and solve it and move forward. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to look back and be like, well, this is how we always do it. It's like that's silly. Like just
Yeah.
fix the problem.
Well, okay, then
Like
what's the solution if it's not to separate
yeah,
boys and girls
no, like
sports?
you can look at it scientifically, right? Like, come up with a measure of athleticism. You know how like you don't have like a 300-pound kid wrestle an 80-pound kid, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And you
like
don't have something with testosterone in it wrestle something with a vagina.
that doesn't make
I mean,
no, but that
they
doesn't
do. They
mean
do
no
actually.
that
Women
that
do,
doesn't
girls do
determine whether
wrestle, but
that doesn't determine whether you're a good athlete or not.
it
Like
has a
for
substantial influence in your
for
There,
like
there's a substantial
no,
difference.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is it doesn't make you good at a sport. It just means you're potentially more athletic. But there are ways to
correct.
measure athleticism. There are women who are better swimmers than there are men, right? So
Correct.
so
Absolutely.
those women can't swim against those men. Just have tiered leagues. If you want to have
Well,
some
no,
other
well,
leagues, is all I'm
Let's
I'm
saying.
say
not in
And
that
favor of that.
it's already tiered, having them separated into genders. It's
sort of,
already
but
tiered,
like you're
but
not
It's gonna
actually
be
you're not
tiered. It's gonna be tiered based on ability, or else it's gonna be tiered based on these women crying
I don't
over
know,
But
never
bro.
no,
being
Like,
but
able to
you
compete.
can have leagues separated by like literal ability for certain for various sports, right?
yeah, but
Yeah,
No one
I
think
cares.
just
No one cares what you are biologically or
yeah,
what you
but
I
identify as. But if you could hit 70 home runs a season, regardless of who you are, the Yankees are going to sign you to a pretty nice contract.
yeah, but think of
well,
it
I
like
just I
this. You want to think of it like if you into like bodybuilding or Miss America, for example, you don't want guys competing in Miss America because like that's not
I
for
wish I
guys,
was
it's
into
for
Miss
women.
America.
And the same thing for bodybuilding. If you're competing for like world's strongest man or something, or
Yeah, I know, I understand
bodybuilding
that, but
for
what I'm
Miss
saying is
Olympia,
that just
you don't
because you have
want women in
testosterone
there.
or don't have testosterone doesn't actually make you good at the thing you're trying to do. There are
I
actual
never
ways.
claimed that it did. I
There
just
are
claimed that
ways.
it gives
There
you
are
a
ways.
substantial advantage.
I agree with that, but what I'm saying is there are actual ways to measure like your performance. You know what I mean?
So
And then
my rebuttal to that,
you can be put
my
in like a performance against people of similar skill and ability
right. So
as a way to play sport.
I agree that that is a potential solution, but here's why I don't think that it's the best solution, is because um the transgender population, the athletic transgender population is all of what, like 1/4% of athletes. Okay, so why are we going to split a perfectly viable or change a perfectly viable um uh you know
You don't
league, a
have to. You
perfectly
don't have to.
viable,
You could just
well, you're talking
you
about
can
tiering
have
it. So we
yeah,
have boys and girls right now, but you're talking about changing that to a tiered.
but I'm saying you can add a league, and then this league will be
They
more
can add a
focused on
transgender league. They
and
can add a
no,
transgender league.
but like this league could be more focused on anyone who wants to play, and it's just a more competitive way of playing sports. It's we're gonna actually
I
measure your ability and performance, and you're gonna be put in a league based on how you perform.
Chat. Is
But
that
I guess it
I
just
also
makes
don't think that there's really
between
enough
league
athletes
and
for another
then
league.
I
it
mean,
makes
there's
You,
plenty of kids in high school who don't make their high school teams.
okay, actually, you got a point. Oh crap! I forgot to move my Soviet Far East dude up to your cut.
Oh no.
you guys were supposed to be
Yeah, well,
distracting
that's it.
and not distracting yourselves.
I mean, dude, I built
Well,
2 aircraft carriers, a transport, and a shit ton of planes and an icy in France. I'm not really paying attention in this game. Like, what do you mean, man? I'm just goofing around as Germany over here, building the
I've
forest.
let Borneo sit in the UK's
Dude,
custody
I've been
for.
looking at Borneo all game. I'm like, is this bro ever taking back Borneo? Come on, man. What's
Well,
going
I
on?
haven't really. I've barely had enough
Th-
IPC to pump
Thanks for the
out.
extra planes, by the
Well, no,
way.
I've had, I have what?
All the extra planes that I've gotten
What?
for because of Borneo.
Oh yeah, imagine if he didn't have
Oh
Borneo
yeah,
for 5 rounds. He'd have 2 less planes.
that's actually significant.
Am I gonna get
That's
kicked out
20%
for
of his
posting
air
this
force.
in the chat, in Tokyo chat? I think.
What?
Will I get kicked out?
What are you talking about?
Kicked out. I want to know what you're talking about too.
Yeah, but
What
I was a
you-
wrestling coach, and there's a difference between girls and boys competing with each other, and I even wrestled in college with boys and girls, and there's a difference between the way boys and girls. So those being separated were separated just to make stuff easier and simpler. But I don't know, the whole thing with the transgender people competing with sports, like you point out, it would be easier just to make a separate league for them. But the problem is with
100%. Totally agree, man. Totally agree.
what Andrew said, it's hard to find the population, and
They
then
have
the population
special.
Well,
They have
that's
special Olympics, right? Give them special gender Olympics, man. Right?
Yeah.
yeah, but I think like my solution is a lot more elegant though, where it's actually based on your performance in the sport.
Well, it's not fair to that one swimmer, right? When you got some guy.
That still comes down to some
Also not a guy.
authority making a decision of, or some sort of metric to measure
Yeah,
what
but
your
also
skill
like
is, which comes
the other
down to
thing is
someone arbitrating
apparently
your skill level.
well then the other thing too is like look, just because you disagree with it doesn't mean it's incorrect, and people are actually making these decisions, and that's just the way it is. So it's like you can just live with that, Like
And another reason I don't like, I don't want,
like that's just the
I
world
don't like the
progressing to be
way,
more inclusive. Like we've been through this before. We have to be more
I
inclusive
don't,
to people that are different than us.
hey,
So,
Husky, I don't agree with the way that these or that these changes are being
Yeah, but you're
implemented.
not
Like
going to
they're just
agree with
doing it.
everything.
They're
But
they're
like they're
just
not
doing it.
they're not though, right? Like these are the people in charge. Like, what do you mean? Like, they're just doing that's their job.
Because
like, their job is to
they
do
were
it.
because no, well, okay, but they are not in charge. So the Congress is
They
in
are,
charge,
though.
and they made no, it's the school administrators who are unelected, or the school principals or whoever who are not elected, or unless they are, but they're
Who are
just
not
making
elected
changes
unless they are. That's
unless they
fantastic.
are.
Unless they are
This is my
elected.
that's my whole political every
That's my
political argument.
catch-all. It's the
Every
open and
political
transparent. It's open and transparent.
I
Honesty
see what
and
you
the
did there.
totalitarian equivalent.
Transparent.
Oh Lord,
dude,
help me.
they're just doing their jobs, but like you shouldn't get, like you're not gonna agree with everything. Look, I mean, like I disagreed with almost everything Trump did, but like here we are.
Well, I'll tell
Still
you, like
here.
the first thing that I really noticed about Trump that I disagreed with, that I really paid attention
Everything.
to, was uh when
His
he
hair.
and well,
Grab him in the cooter.
the first thing that he did is uh institute change the smoking age up to 21. I was like, okay, you're supposed to be like a liberty president. You're supposed, like, that's literally the opposite of liberty. I'm not saying people should smoke. I'm not saying I want cigarettes to be like widely available to everyone. I'm not
What if
saying I
he
want
moved?
kids smoking, but
What if he moved the adult age to 21? What if like
I
you're
would be
not an
more in
adult?
I would be in favor of that. I actually would be in favor of that.
Me too. I think
If
that
you had to
actually makes
wait,
way more sense. If I compare me at 21
so
versus me at 18, I
yeah,
would say adults should be 27.
I think that no, I think 21 is probably
Nowadays,
just around
adults
the
should
sweet
be like
spot.
45.
The only difference, or the only thing that I think you should be able to do at 18 is, well, I think you should be able to get a license. That should be a state issue, but uh, join the military at 18, and if you have joined the military, vote at 18. Otherwise, it should be 21. I don't care if there's a draft or not. Unless you have actually joined the military, you should not be voting until you're 21. You shouldn't be uh, getting kicked off your parents' insurance, which I guess they don't do that till 24, but I think they should kick that back down to 21. Uh,
That was pretty big. It was pretty nice to be on my parents' insurance until I was 24.
I'm sure it was nice for you because you didn't have to foot the bill for it.
That's what I'm saying. But I also couldn't afford to because our health insurance is fucking fucked up.
Well, you were about to say our
I mean,
economy was shit.
No, because I was just like,
can I chime in here?
Of course.
With what you were saying about the voting age, I don't think there should be a voting age. I think it should be once you support yourself. It should be it should be means tested. It shouldn't be a magical thing that you get when you turn some age.
The elected people are the ones that are going to decide what's in that test.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, do I
you're
have
gonna
to
have
be
to
white?
pass an ideological. You're gonna have to pass an ideological screening.
Bro,
I don't know.
crazy.
I don't know, but when I was
ideology,
no, we used to do that.
It's about
We used to do that. It was called poll taxes.
Right.
And you know who voted then? Only rich people. Only rich people got to vote then. What the fuck, dude? It was racist.
Any way to keep a black man off the ballot.
Any way to keep the black man off the ballot. Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey, I mean, there are plenty of upstanding black men who support themselves, and they should all vote.
God, I hope
they'll
you're being
still vote
ironic
Democrat,
right
but
I hope you're fucking,
I have no problem with them voting. I'm Canadian, by the way, so I don't vote in your elections.
Our elections are funny, aren't they?
I love observing them.
I don't think elections are real election. They're rigged.
You know what? In 2016, I almost went to Democrats abroad to watch the election. That would have been a total shit show, man. Like there's a Democrats abroad club in Bangkok. I almost went there.
Didn't Clinton announce her victory, and then she lost in 2016?
I think she did. She definitely got hammered, and she didn't succeed that night. Or concede. She didn't concede. She didn't concede that night because she was too hammered to get on stage. That's what the rumors are.
That's hilarious. But she did concede.
No, she did concede. She just didn't. She didn't do it that day because she was too drunk.
Celebrating early.
So since we got the Canadian here, How about your wonderful Prime Minister? How's that going?
Yeah, didn't they just call for a vote of no confidence?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about him. I mean, when when he got elected, uh, you know, people were so frustrated with the Conservatives that they were either going to vote for Trudeau or vote for the NDP, and the NDP would have been even worse than Trudeau. So, or I mean, maybe not, but you know,
I'm just saying Trudeau hasn't been
I
the
would say
best.
Trudeau can.
This
I would say
fucking
Trudeau could suck my cock, except he might actually take me up on that offer, so I'm good.
I think he would.
Thanks for the
And he'd be
plane.
wearing blackface while he's doing it, so it would be even.
I don't, dude. The rolls I'm getting are such trash. This game is trash. I have so many receipts to show trash rolls, and I never get good ones.
Who are you? You're Germany now.
No, I am Germany. Yeah.
You're Germany.
He's
That's
so
Germany.
embarrassed he doesn't even want to claim his nation.
Yeah, I don't want to say who I am right now. You're not allowed to look at the screen.
I think you're.
Diced or not diced, you can't blame this on the dice when
Oh
you.
no, I'm just mad
purchase
at that
2
battle.
aircraft
I'm just mad
carriers.
at that battle where I brought a plane and 2 bombers. They roll 4 times and get 2 hits.
Okay, I don't like it, but I'll allow it.
And
Well,
also, I had 2 other guys in the battle that never hit on 4 rolls. So it's just like bull. Oh, like that, you know, like my plane can't hit this dude. Are you kidding me? Like that's 6 rolls by a
No,
plane, a
like
bomber, and a plane.
like one thing you have to learn, Princess, about this game is if you bring a plane and 1 infantry, you always blank on the
You
roll.
always lose.
There's no way. There's
It's just
no way
You,
win
coded
you
that
always
way.
gotta bring one more infantry. Always gotta bring that one extra.
It's just coded that way. I know it's
It is
fucking
coded that way.
true. I got the Finland shuck going, guys.
I believe in you, Princess.
What round? Oh my God! You still have boats in the Baltic, and it's round 6.
He built the whole navy. He's got 2 aircraft carriers, a
Jesus.
battleship, cruiser.
Oh my God! And you got the French factory there. I just saw that. You guys are having fun.
Of course. You ready to play, Husky?
Yeah, I'll play. You guys, finish up this game, whatever's left of it. I don't want to kick anyone out.
I don't think anyone would get
I
kicked
can't
out.
really see who's winning.
There's only 3 of us.
I don't know if anyone knows who's winning. I forgot to get my guys off the train.
I'm up by 30 attack power. Almost.
Now we're losing.
Oh
yeah, we're
Jesus.
definitely losing. Attack power is 166 to 192 is what's shown on my screen.
It's fine. It's not actually about the attack power right now. It's about
But that's gonna.
what's happening.
It's not if you win or lose. It's how you play the game. Is that it?
Dude, I also, you know what sucks? Like, I fucking clicked on Corellia to drop my guys off, and they're still in the goddamn transport.
You didn't play the UI game. You have to click 3 times, like left click 3 times, then you have to scroll across the map. So you have to have infinite horizontal scrolling turned on. So you have to scroll across the map, and then you have to say praise be to dice gods.
Yeah.
And then unload.
Yeah, I love it. I love it when you're attacking the Baltic, like the Baltic Sea, and your fighter ends up in the Baltic states.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's so frustrating.
Like just attacking, like a naked fighter attacking, 10 infantry or something.
Anyway, I feel pretty good about our position after this round.
Well, if you started out with Baltic S, whether that's Baltic Sea or Baltic States, then
right.
when the game hears that, it gets confused, and so it just unleashes a bug on you. It has like a bottle or like a mason jar with just tons and tons of bugs, and it just releases one at a time.
I'm gonna go for it. Why the fuck not?
Give me all your planes.
Well, I took yours earlier, so it's only fair.
I'm spelling error, and I support this decision.
I only support
that
it
works.
because my guys got stuck in the transport. You got 8 hits. That's fucking trash.
Oh my god. Good game, Princess. Well, how many did you get back? 4, 5.
5.
Oh, he chose to lose the bomber.
Yeah, because he can land all these in West Russia.
Oh, wow. 126.
It's cool. Don't worry about it. It's all part of the plan. It knew it had to die at some point.
Hey, are you, Princess? Are you the one saying trust the plan now?
Yeah, the plan is for Japan to win. I've been saying this all game.
You
I've
sound
been
like
hearing that since round
you
5.
sound like a Q-tard.
Dude, look at Japan.
You know,
Japan
trust the
is
plan.
coming. Look at Japan, man. Look at our position at the end of this round is pretty decent. He's gonna have to go into his little hidey hole. You shouldn't put those in West Russia. You should put them in Caucasus.
No.
Yeah, so this whole German Navy thing just kind of subtracted 4 rounds. I know I was saying this last round, but this just kind of subtracted 4 rounds from the 3 or 4 rounds from the game.
Yeah, but the
We're on
issue
round
is
6, but it's like a round 2 position.
the issue is they took 4 rounds from you with their Russian opening.
Yeah.
So I tried to get us those 4 rounds back by fucking around with the German
But
Navy.
they're like 1 or 2 rounds ahead with Russia going into Europe. And the
No,
mini stack in Caucasus and Kazakh puts them 1 round ahead against Japan, but then I'd be like 2 rounds ahead. I don't know. It's hard to count in relative round percentage points. RRPP. 2R2P.
Yeah,
The 2R2P index.
I just mean like, so you're gonna have a stack in Kazakh this turn that can't really get dealt with.
Maybe something like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a little mini stack. He would be able to take a chance.
Oh,
Not a great chance, but there's some sort of chance. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna take that.
Oof.
Should we do it this way? No,
I
don't want to. No, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way.
Wait.
Okay. I'm waiting.
I think you just get India.
Do I just get India?
You have 8 dudes and 4 planes and a bomber.
This is really like something you should have said before I purchased anything.
Hey, you get 2 planes and a bomber because you don't own Burma, and you only have 1 aircraft carrier, if I'm not mistaken. What'd you buy? A bunch of dudes? You're fine. You bought a transport. You could send the guys up to 62 next turn, and they could drop everyone off. You're all right.
No, I can send them to 61 next turn. I could send one transport to 62.
Oh,
But the other 4,
close enough.
the other 4 probably need to go to Africa. Split between 3 of them go to Africa and 1 of them goes to Australia. I just need new transports at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Whatever, Chill.
If I don't take the tank here, then I can take the tank
where?
to event key. If I don't take this tank to Kazakh, I can take it to event key. And I think I still have a decent, well, no, I think I need that tank because he has 2 tanks and 2 fighters and 9 infantry.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think that I attack Kazakh at all, actually. Without any aircraft support. I mean, you know what I do? I take 1 plane off of Burma, and then I can lightly attack with like 4 infantry.
You can't land a plane in Kazakh, though. That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, fuck Burma.
But I can land it back in Sichuan, yeah.
Yeah.
I take 1 off Burma and 2 Kazakh. I think this is my attack right here.
Yeah. I'm cool with it.
What are we supposed to say? FAPO? Fuck around and find out.
Sure. I was just like, oh, I guess India's available.
Oh.
Did it go well?
No bombardments. No, I just lost 2 fighters.
I couldn't tell.
And I didn't get any bombardments.
Wait, you lost 2 fighters? He got 2 hits with the AA gun? Dude, we're getting so fucked this game.
Yeah.
And he got 6 hits.
And I just lost, I just lost everything except for my 2 tanks and my bomber. I mean, at this point, I might as well keep going in.
Yeah, you gotta fucking do it. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
You got no bombars with 2 battleships and 1 hit with the bomber? Dude, game's rigged.
And there goes there goes my tanks. So I just have a bomber left. There's no point in attacking with just a bomber. And there was no point in sacking the bomber because look at this.
Game's
just say get raped. Oh, it's rigged. Yeah, I was.
You give up yet?
I said get raped, and I was like, yeah, I am getting raped right here. I feel it in my asshole.
I'm over it. Yeah, I'm over it. These bulls, man, these are trash.
You guys give up yet?
9.5 inches.
Well, let's see. So he hit 10 out of 11 plane against our fleet.
Oh man.
I forfeit so we can play a new game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I forfeit. What time is it though? Yeah, I got another game in me. I do want to go to the bathroom and go to the vending machine, and then I'll be back. So I need like 15 minutes at most.
That's fine. Monkey, you want to play?
Wait for 15 minutes. Huh?
I said that's cool. Monkey, you want to play?
I got work to go to in about 30 minutes, so I don't got time to play a game with you guys. But I'm just chilling.
Oh,
enjoying
that's
the free
just an
TV.
excuse. I know you have time.
You're right. I'm scared.
just...
After watching Purchasers play, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't want to deal with that catastrophe. That was interesting, Princess.
Right. I'm just forfeiting the game.
They got some potential. Have you heard of
The plan was
MMA?
working. The plan was until we got into like rolls from hell.
So, have you heard of the player MAA?
Ma?